Welcome to the Jay and Will show. As usual, my name is Jay, and we got my bro Will with me. What's up, boy?
What up?
And we have a very special guest with us today, the founder, CEO, owner of the conglomerate that is Glow Sun Production.
Yes, sir.
Ladies and gentlemen, Relle's in the building. What's going on, bro?
Man, what's good, fellas? Been a long week so far, man. I still got a few days to go, man. Just ready for it to end. But we got something to look forward to tomorrow, though.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Which is why we on with y'all today. So we are going to go over the Eastern Conference and Western Conference Finals results, and then ultimately get to what we think is going to happen in the NBA Finals. So we'll start off with the Eastern Conference Finals. As you all, I'm sure, know by now, the Miami Heat did defeat the Boston Celtics in 6 games. Somebody, I don't remember who it was, but somebody on the panel said that the Heat was going to win 6. I can't remember who it was. If y'all remember,
you know what? To give you your credit, man, you've been riding that wave since pretty much tip. You know what I mean?
Yeah, man. Like, I just, I haven't been watching a whole lot of other series, but the way they handled Indy in the first round, said a lot to me. And then the way they just went through, it was like a buzzsaw. And the fact that before the playoffs, they was running through the bubble, like the regular season part. They was running through that. So I think they've lost 4 games. So it's like just seeing that momentum from there. I was
is that total plus the playoffs?
Total, yeah, because they had lost, maybe it's 5. I think they had lost 2 games up until they lost 2 games because they beat who they beat in the second round?
Oh, they played
that's Milwaukee. They went 5.
Yes. So they've lost 4 games then because they had lost 1 game during bubble play. And then they swept
the Pacers. Yeah.
And they lost 1 game to Milwaukee and they lost 2 games to the Celtics.
Oh,
so
okay.
They've lost 4 games.
Jesus.
Okay.
So I just felt like that momentum was there, but enough about me.
Right.
So and then Relle and Will, if I believe correctly, you guys picked Boston to win in 7.
7.
Was there any point in the series where you felt like, all right, this is probably not gonna happen, or did you feel that the chance was there throughout the series?
I guess I was just pretty much waiting for Gordon Hayward and Kemba to be a little bit more consistent. Because I remember a lot of people saying when Kemba got to Boston that, he never had talent. Well, he did.
Right.
He didn't have talent like that around him. So with him having the opportunity now to have talent around him, I thought maybe it was making him step his game up, man. And he just didn't show up enough. He wasn't consistent enough. And I feel like, it was like they put a lot on Tatum's shoulders to have to carry that team, man. And you see how Miami played. Any one of those guys could get you 30 at any point in time. You know what I mean? And they play more of a team basketball game instead of it being okay, we relying on you. We'll just fill in wherever you need us at. You know what I mean? With Tatum. So, like I said, the one thing with Miami too, man, a lot of people don't. Well, I hear a lot of people talking about them now is the zone defense.
Mm-hmm.
That zone defense, man, is a problem. With Boston's, best players being so young, that's something new to them. They really didn't figure it out. Mm-hmm. And so I know we're going to talk about the Western Conference next, but, with them being in the finals, are they going to still play that way with this opponent that's the team they're going to play next? That's going to be the question.
Sure.
Or are they going to try to figure out another way to kind of slow down LeBron and AD? That's going to be the question.
Right.
Yeah. It seemed like they did start putting it together. What was that? About the second, third quarter in that game 6. That's when they just got right there in the paint, right there about the free throw line, and was hitting all the floaters, all the mid range, right there. Then the bottom fell out in the fourth quarter. But it was right around. It was basically game 4. Yeah, game 5. When it was game 5. Hero put in that work, and
it was game.
I think it was
5. It's 5. It's 5.
Yeah,
You're right.
Okay.
It's 5.
So it was that one when it was like, oh, Boston's in trouble. Like, because the whole time I was thinking was like, okay, like you have Hayward. Eventually, Hayward's going to come back, and then he's just going to fit right in, and then they're going to put it together, and it's going to go 7, and then boom, we have a great series against the Lakers. But yeah, that game 5 was like, oh, I don't think they're going to get this.
You know another thing too, Josh, about that. That's like Gerard brought this up, I think on the last video. That size killed Boston.
Yeah.
But Bam was in there just having a field day in there, man. That size. I think that's going to be something that Boston's going to address. I've been hearing a lot of rumors about who they might be looking at over the offseason as far as size-wise.
Yeah.
But, man, listen, that came back and bite. I'm not going to lie to you. I thought that their perimeter players would be good enough to carry them without having, with that glaring hole they had back there with the size thing. But it showed against Miami with their physicalness, man, and the size they had with Olynyk and Bam and those guys like that, man, that it was a glaring weakness, man. Something that they couldn't really cover up.
Yeah. And it's crazy because like the whole thing with the NBA has been to go kind of basically to build that Boston is, where you can everybody can basically interchange between positions.
Yeah,
right.
And nobody has a set position, and everybody can shoot the 3. And Miami was like, "Nah, bro, we can body you. Have 1-2 people score 25 to 30 a night, and it's team basketball all the way around." And it was crazy.
Just that depth crazy. And just the consistency throughout. And Goran Dragic, listen, that kid, he's about to get paid for sure. About to get paid. I say he's a kid, but he's 34. But so that's the Eastern Conference recap. So switching over to the Western Conference, obviously we know that the Lakers took care of the Denver Nuggets in 5, and I think there was a lot of questions about whether or not Denver would have enough in the tank to keep up, considering they had 2 straight series where they have to fight from being down 3-1 to eventually win those series. I know all of us had picked the Lakers to win that series. I can't remember if it was 5 or 6, but we certainly are in that range. But I want to get Relle's opinion on just the overall outlook of how the series went, and just your general recap of how you think things went.
Well, it's kind of like what you were saying before we started the video when you were talking about how many games Miami lost. The Lakers had only lost 3 games the whole entire playoffs. Remember, they went 5-1 the whole entire playoffs. And I remember I was one of the crazy people who picked the Blazers. I will admit that. I think after that series right there, I think LeBron and them started taking it a whole lot more serious. Because remember, a lot of people thought they were just kind of easing their way into the playoffs. Like, we'll turn it on whenever we're ready. They kind of saw how the Blazers were coming into the playoffs. They were one of the hottest team. Dame, probably the hottest player, probably behind Devin Booker. And they lost that first game. And after that, it's just been turning it up ever since. And in this series right here, I think a lot of it had to do with all the energy that the Nuggets exerted in the first 2 series. Because like you said, coming back, 3-1 on both. I mean, that's a lot of energy that you reserved. You're playing 7 games, and with them not really being going that far before, so this is kind of new territory for them too. So all that kind of culminated to them eventually falling to the Lakers. And with a focused LeBron James right now, and something I will admit to, AD is finally being the AD that people expected him to be since he came into the league. And with all that together, man, I think that they deserve to be here, man. I know a lot of people are picking the Clippers to be the team here, but hey,
that didn't work out too well, did it?
No, it didn't work out too well. That's a video for another day right there. You can definitely get that.
Sure will. Will, what you got, man?
And it was that size. Lakers being able to throw 3 big men. Basically, you throw in JaVale McGee at Denver, and it was just Jokic. Basically, it was either all or nothing. If he had a great game, then they had a chance. If he ended up having foul trouble in the last game, and that was a struggle for them because they didn't have anybody to come in and help. So I think they basically in the same boat as Boston. They're going to have to find another big man, even if it's a big man to come off the bench to be able to spell the Joker at least some playing time. But they're going to have to find another big man to be able to, if they want to do another deep run. Because this team is good, but a lot of times we know with the NBA, you can't go with the same squad from year to year and expect the same thing. Even with Golden State, they had to change up players from year to year, even to build up their dynasty. So that's going to do the same thing for Denver to be able to continue because they're a young team. Joker is the oldest one as far as the core, and he's like 25 or so?
Yeah, like 25.
Yeah, so that's going to be a big thing for them, being able to build up, get another big man, and try to keep some of the key parts that they do have. But hopefully, they don't keep at least Grant.
That's right. So
I know Jay keep an eye on that one.
Absolutely. So just two things I kind of wanted to point out about the series, at least that stood out to me. First thing is, I never want to give this man credit, but Rondo's his role was pivotal and getting those guys in the right position. And that was one of the things is like, obviously LeBron played point guard and, he led the league in assists and, had one of his better years in the league as their point guard. But as high as his IQ is, which it is very high, obviously, that takes a lot of energy out of you to be facilitating the offense, getting other guys involved, and then trying to take on the responsibility of defending the other team's best player. And I think with Rondo coming in and essentially taking the ball out of his hands and facilitating, say what we want about Rondo, when he's on his game, it's not a lot of point guards that are better than him in terms of the cerebralness of how he understands mismatches and how to capitalize off of certain circumstances. And one thing I didn't know until watching the series is that his jump shot has gotten like 100 times better. And he's hitting threes on a consistent basis.
Yes.
And that was the one hole in his game was that he didn't have no jumper. The only point he scored was going to the basket, penetrating to get into the hole, potentially getting to the free throw line, things of that nature. The way he was knocking down shots in this series just add a whole different dimension that they didn't have when he was out. I think he had an injured broken thumb or something along those lines. But the dynamic of that team changed when he was able to be inserted into the lineup. So that's one thing. The second thing I noticed too was Vogel did a great job of making adjustments that I don't know that Denver didn't. I don't know if it's because they don't have the talent or the bodies to make similar adjustments, but taking JaVale McGee out of starting lineup and putting Dwight Howard in when he kind of started feeling like Jokic was having his way, changed the complexion of the series in a lot of ways too. So the adjustments that Vogel was able to make during this series kind of showed, to me at least, that it's not just LeBron running the show, and that he's able to make those adjustments from game to game that you have to be able to make in the playoffs if you want to win 4 out of 7 in the series. Right. And so I hate to give them credit because I don't want to give Rondo credit for anything, but I definitely feel like he was a major point in how the series turned, and it just Denver wasn't able to recover when he started to get in his bag, so to speak.
Yeah. It's kind of like Jason Kidd. Remember Jason Kidd go to the basket, didn't have the three, and then all of a sudden he's one of the greatest three-point shooters
of all time.
As far as made. So it's crazy.
Yeah.
I was gonna say too. The one thing I think that I guess I could say this now, but I think Denver missed Will Barton, man.
Mm.
I really think they missed Will Barton. That's no knock on Michael Porter Jr. He's young, and we've already seen that this dude got some talent, man. He's gonna be special. He just wasn't, really prepared for it yet because he's a little bit inconsistent. You know what I'm saying in the playoffs. So a guy like Will Barton definitely could have helped them get him more a consistent boost, especially off the bench. I think he'll start, so he comes off the bench. Yeah,
right.
So that was something that they missed too, because I know with you have those two guys and Jokic and Murray. But then, like I said, with a team like the Lakers, who are a really good defensive team, with AD and those three-headed monsters in the paint, you might need another guy that can help stretch that floor a little bit, man, and can kind of knock down some shots whenever those two guys are, are struggling just a little bit. You know what I mean? And I think with those two guys, Michael Porter Jr. on the rise a little bit, and then Will Barton coming there being that consistent guy that can get you like 15 to 16, could have really helped them out in that series. Especially, man, the way. Yeah, you know what I mean? And then with them playing those 2 7-game series back to back, man, they definitely could have used an extra body to kind of help pick up the scoring load out there.
And I know Jamal Murray was like far and away the leader in minutes played in the bubble.
Oh my
God, like far and away. They showed the graphic, and it was like the next person, can't remember. I don't know if it was, can't remember who it was. I don't know if it was LeBron or whoever it was not close. Like it was like far and away the most minutes played. He was averaging like 42 minutes a game or something along those lines.
Yeah, something like that. So you're saying he averaging the minutes that Giannis should have averaged, what you're trying to tell me? Oh, okay. Yes, that was shot spot.
Yeah, I will tell you who wasn't second on that list, and that's Giannis. He was definitely not second on that list.
Definitely. Why wouldn't he top 10?
Right, exactly. So yeah, that's the recap for the West. So now we'll go ahead and move on to the main event of the evening, the NBA Finals, where we have the Los Angeles Lakers playing the Miami Heat. Obviously, a unique situation considering the fact that they're in the bubble.
Yes.
I think this really just does give the opportunity to find out who the better team is. So I'll let the owner and CEO of Glow Sun Production have the floor and let us know your thoughts about this series and ultimately who you got to pick, who you picking for this series.
Okay, well, let's see. Miami, I'm trying to think real quick. Miami didn't really play anybody with the type of size the Lakers have. Sabonis didn't play in the first series, right?
Right, he was out.
He was out. Okay. So then the second series, the Lopez is not really a threat in the paint. He's more of a stretch five.
Yeah.
And they kind of double teamed and played that zone on Giannis.
Right.
So yeah, this is gonna be something different. They're more wing heavy, I guess you could say. And because like I said, you have Duncan Robinson, you have Jimmy Butler, you have Tyler Hero, you got Jay Crowder, you got what's the boy name, Iggy. You know what I'm saying? They're a little bit more wing heavy.
Yeah.
And so I know they're gonna try to throw a lot of bodies at LeBron, which for me, I think that's where I know your boy Danny Green gonna have to step up in this one, man. He's gonna have to step up.
Who's that?
Yeah. Because there's gonna be a lot of double teams on LeBron to try to keep the ball out of his hands, and of course that's where I think Rondo's gonna shine in this series. This is where he's really gonna show up right here because they're gonna try to take the ball out of LeBron's hand, double him, and all that stuff that they normally do. They're gonna play a lot of zone, wanting the Lakers to shoot because they don't. I mean, the Lakers have been hot right now, but can this go on forever?
Right. Yeah.
So I guess I'm talking myself about this, but I'm picking the Lakers. I'm gonna say in 6. I'm gonna say Lakers in 6.
Okay.
But I wouldn't be surprised because the way that this bubble, like you said, this bubble thing is a whole lot different, man. Right. A team can catch fire, man, and it's like, for example, Phoenix. If it's a regular season in a regular NBA setting, do you really think Phoenix would have won an 8-game win streak like that, man?
No
Beating
way.
a bunch of good teams.
No
like
way.
I said, the bubble is a different beast. So if Miami was to come out here and beat the Lakers, I wouldn't be surprised. But I'm willing to probably bet that it's going to be the Lakers in maybe 6.
Okay. Well,
I got Lakers in 5.
Okay.
AD,
5, huh?
AD, he's gonna. It's gonna be close to. He's gonna be damn near the MVP because he's going to basically bring out his point guard play. That's the way that they're gonna force the ball. So Rondo's gonna be important, but it's gonna be AD being able to move the ball around, being able to carry the ball up because when the Lakers are at their best, AD is balling.
Sure.
The ball is flowing through him. He's facilitating. He can bring it up. He can get the ball in the right places at times. It's on AD. AD, he basically has to be damn near the MVP, basically beat out LeBron for them to, and I think that's going to end up happening because they're going to put such a, which is understandable, huge emphasis on stopping LeBron to have a chance that this is going to be AD, because now it's going to be they're going to put Iggy on LeBron because they think it's going to be basically like Iggy in Golden State stopping LeBron from getting a 40-point triple-double.
Yeah, exactly.
That was like 6 years ago.
Exactly. So
they ain't the same Iggy.
No. So all he going to do is stop LeBron from getting a 35-point triple-double. But AD's going to come out balling. He
lose.
Going to carry it over more point guard play basically when it comes to him being able to lead this team.
All right. Well, wow. Just disrespectful pick right there, if I'm being honest.
Jay, I think I know where you're going. You go.
So I'm gonna say this. Just as much as we talk about, or just as much as you gentlemen brought up, that Miami really hasn't dealt with, the size, that the Lakers have. The Lakers haven't dealt with a team like Miami yet. And I don't want to be disrespectful of Denver, but have the Lakers really been challenged yet in these playoffs, honestly?
No, I mean,
they got Portland out of here.
They went 5 on all of them, so I mean,
they got Portland out of here. Who do they play in the second round? Houston. So I think Miami is what Houston wants to be. Like, cause Bam he's big, but he ain't 7 foot. You know what I mean?
Dude is a freak of nature, man.
Right, he plays bigger than he actually is, which is right up. I mean, that's perfect. And I think Houston would want a guy like that who can shoot and isn't huge but plays bigger than he is. Would rather have him or PJ Tucker, right? So
Bam, please.
Right. So it's tough for me because I feel like the same argument that's being made can be made in reverse. And I think that there's multiple bodies that Miami can throw at LeBron, not just Iggy, but you can throw Jay Crowder at him. You can throw Justice Hill, like the dude with he got the Michael Jackson Jerry curl now. You can throw him on there. There's a lot of different guys that have size that can give him, I won't say fits, but the fact that you can kind of use multiple bodies keeps him from being able to just know, I got this one, or you have an opportunity to use up fouls if you need to as well. I think that the way Miami plays, AD and LeBron are not going to be enough, in my opinion, because like Relle mentioned earlier, Tyler Hero can go for 30. Yeah. Duncan Robinson can go for 30. Yep. Goran Dragic can go for 30.
I forgot about Dragic, yeah.
Bam Adebayo went for 34 and 12 in Game 6.
Yeah.
And Jimmy Butler could just be him. Like if you get 25 for Jimmy Butler, that's almost like a bonus, which is crazy to talk about the best player like that. But his impact is so it's different from right. I think he just galvanizes and makes the others around him better, which is what gets them to where they are now. So there's no way this series goes 5. I got the Lakers in 7.
Oh, okay. You're not gonna finish it?
The only reason why I'm not gonna finish it is because there is not, outside of Iggy, there's not really anybody on the Heat team that has had this type of experience, been this type of situation they can rely on to pull them out. Like if they get down, 3-1, like who's that person's gonna pull them out? You know what I mean? Jimmy hasn't been in a situation before. And I'm not gonna say that he's not gonna be able to produce, but I just feel like at the end of the day, if it's one game that you gotta win, who else do you take on that court besides LeBron to get you that W? And that's my mentality. To Relle's point, like I wouldn't be shocked if it went the other way, but I think there's enough talent on Miami's team to keep them in this series to where it's not a quick one.
Right.
I think if you look at it, if we look at the roster, like roster by roster, Miami's got a better roster than the Lakers do, top to bottom, right?
Yeah.
Which is why I say like they need other people to step up and kind of go above and beyond. If Kuzma can if he can average 20 a game, that makes things different. It could be over to 5.
That's
right?
A big if too.
It's a big if, right? That's what I'm saying. So I mean, if you look, obviously, LeBron and AD are the best 2 players on the court, no question. But after you get to number 3, are we sure it's not Jimmy? Are we sure it's not Bam? Like, so if you go ahead, Will.
I'm looking forward to the Bam and AD matchup.
Yeah, that's what I was about to talk about too. Yeah,
fun to watch. That's going to be fun to watch. But when I say 5, it's not going to be like a walk in the park 5. I think it's just going to be close games, but Lakers just going to be able to close out games better because Boston gave up leads at the end of the fourth quarter when LA closed out games better. So that's that's why I'm thinking that it's going to be a 5-game is because if you look at the different games, Boston will have these leads. And then it hit a stretch of just their defense fall apart and the Heat start putting in work. And I don't because of LA's size and their defense, Miami won't be able to do the same thing to LA that they did to Boston. So I think that's going to be the big difference of being able to close out the games. I think the game's going to be close, but I think LA will be able to close out the games better than what Boston did.
And then another thing too, that's another. You kind of like you were saying a minute ago too, Jay. I mean, you flip it, you could throw 3 bodies on Bam. You have 3 athletic bigs that you could throw on Bam.
If you do that and he kicks it out to the perimeter, who's got a better shot? So if I collapse on AD, do I trust that Kuzma hit open 3? Do I trust that? I
thought you were gonna say
my guy. What's my guy? The white dude.
KCP.
No, well him too.
No.
But
Caruso.
Caruso, thank you. Do we know they're gonna be able to hit those threes? I will take if my big is collapsed on, I would take Tyler Hero, Duncan Robinson, and Goran Dragic to kick it out to for open 3, and I would Kyle Kuzma, Alex Caruso, or KCP.
Oh my god!
So it's a toss up. So I will say real quick, we got
get one of them dudes in Dallas, man. We gotta get one of them dudes in Dallas, man. It's ridiculous.
Yeah,
it's free. You got that many shooters.
Agency coming up. That's a different video.
Yeah.
I'm doing a video on that, man.
Right. So we got a little less than 2 minutes left. So I want to give each of you gentlemen an opportunity, kind of closing thoughts about the series or anything before we shut this bad boy down.
So we can do this instead. We both all said the Lakers are going to win, right?
We did.
Who do y'all have as the MVP? Who y'all have as the MVP?
AD.
Okay. Jay,
LeBron.
what you got?
LeBron.
You think so?
Yeah.
Okay, now let me ask you a question.
Yeah.
If LeBron doesn't win, is that a hit on his legacy? I mean, if he wins the championship but doesn't win the MVP,
no.
You don't think so?
No, because it's AD.
Yeah.
Because it's AD, right? Like if it was freaking Rondo, then yeah, I think so. But
right.
If it's AD, like top 7 players in the league, like that's not a bad thing.
That question was kind of posed today, man. I was wondering. I was like, that's actually a good question. Like, how do people look at it if he doesn't, like he wins the championship but doesn't win the MVP?
I mean, the whole point of bringing AD to the Lakers was to start the process of handing over the torch. So it's like, I mean, what do y'all want? So
exactly.
Real quick, you want to get a prediction on MVP?
Oh man, this is a hard one, bro. Because AD did kind of carry the Lakers.
We got to get in quick.
Okay, I said LeBron. I'll go with LeBron.
All right, y'all. Appreciate y'all as always. Like and subscribe. Real appreciate you, bro. Thank you guys for tuning in and go Heat. Just kidding.